Get started.
Cool. Hi, Jill. How you going?
Good. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm still sort of just dealing with the technical stuff. Hi.
That's all right. How are you? I just thought we've discussed this before we went to recording, but we'll do it again for people listening and watching. Here we are. Today's date is we're the 3rd of April now, or something, and we're in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic. I was about to say panic then.
Panic, pandemic, yeah, whatever you want. Oh, yeah, totally.
How are you coping? How are you going?
I would say I've probably gone through the process that the majority of people that have gone through, which is a kind of similar to grieving. You go through sort of this sort of hysterical stage, not hysterical as in screaming my head off, but sort of of, oh my goodness, this is funny, isn't it? This is a bit strange, to quickly moving on to like denial of it's not as bad as everybody says it is, to actually I think I'm a bit concerned about this. Oh my God, this is going to affect my business. And then moving on to this sort of anger and frustration. And now I'm sitting quite comfortably in acceptance. First of all, before we move on, I want to say my neighbours have decided to start sanding something. I don't know why. Just of course now when we decide that we want to record.
Working from home.
Working from home, everybody, professionalism 101. And I really apologise in advance for the noise in the background that you can hear. I'm going to try and speak really closely into the mic so that you can't hear it as much. So I think I'm sitting comfortably in kind of just acceptance right now. Taking it one day at a time, and trying to think about the future as much as possible. How can I protect my business? How can I protect my family? Am I making the right choices for my family? Which I think leads nicely on to one of the biggest issues that's been impacting people is this uncertainty.
Yep.
It's the level of uncertainty around every element of this situation. There's not a single part of this situation which doesn't leave you asking questions or seeking more information or trying to get to the bottom of something. Yeah. So, and I think that's why people are having to go through this sort of grieving process.
Yep.
It's a loss of normality. It's a loss of day-to-day life. And let's face it, human beings find change very difficult to accept.
We're not good with it, are
we? So, some of us are better than others, and some of us are really good at problem solving things. But, I think we have to be honest with ourselves and go, the majority of us are a bit crap at it. So, it's the new normal, isn't it? It's the having to just go, okay, this is a big change, and it's really messing, and it's making me scared. But how, there does come a point, I think, when you have to kind of let it go a little bit.
Yeah. And sorry, I just have to clear my throat there. I guess that's the acceptance phase there, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I was very angry. I was very, very, very angry for about a week. Last week or so, with everything. The decisions that the Swedish government in particular had made. Why was my child's school not closed? Why were they not taking it seriously? Why was there no support for small businesses? All this kind of stuff like that. And I can't really remember the point at which I just went, I have no energy for this anymore. I just need to focus on a day at a time. I can't remember what happened. Maybe several conversations of anything, but eventually I just went, I need to let this go.
Yep.
Because
I totally hear you.
It's stopping me from moving on, from moving forward. And I think sorry, I keep talking.
That's all right. It's totally cool.
And I think a lot of it maybe is to do with the kind of actually allowing yourself to feel those things. Allowing yourself to go, yes. I feel really angry. I'm going to allow myself to feel really angry. Like telling somebody to just move on with it, it's not helpful.
No. And
it's not useful. It's, in fact, you know what? If you tell somebody that, they're just going to hold on to it for
ever. And, and it's something, I said this the other day, if we bottle it in, keep it inside, it turns into discomfort and disease in our bodies. We have to get it out. We have to be okay with allowing ourselves and the people around us to feel what we're feeling, and help create a space for that to happen.
Definitely.
So that we can process those feelings, so that we can create a space to move forward onto new, bigger, better, okay things to be doing, rather than sitting in this uncertainty as I look out my window to the snow that we had last night.
Well, I mean, if that is not a sign of the times, I don't know. I know that the weather in April in Sweden is it's mixed, but and I have to sort of think. I always think, like, we always have snow in April.
We do, there's
for some reason every year we're surprised by it.
I know, and my mother-in-law always says it's got to, after the end of winter, it's got to snow 7 times before it's the end of winter. And I think this is number 4 or 5.
Okay.
So I think we've got a couple more little flurries of snow before it's officially the end of winter.
With that. That's probably true. That's about right. Yeah, I would say that's probably right. I mean, it just adds to the mix, doesn't it, of all the uncertainty and the I mean, I think but put it this way, by the end of this situation, we'll all be so relaxed and chilled out by the whole thing that anything could happen, and we'd be like, yeah, it's totally fine.
I know, right? Oh, you know what? That's where I was yesterday. I was there. I was relaxed and coping and going, yeah, you know what? Throw it at me, bring it on, world. Like after last week, for us, last week was a big week for us with the reality of the change in the way we need to run businesses, and clients doing their thing and being okay with everybody just disappearing, and having to talk yourself through that and go, you know what, you do you. I'm always about you do you, so I'm okay with it. I will survive. And then my son's school burnt down. Well, the sport hall burnt down. And then on Monday there was a bomb to go off, or an explosion go off down in Centrum. And yesterday there's a freaking blizzard.
Yeah, well, I think I kind of had a similar situation at the weekend where there was tiny little things like the washing machine broke down, or there was like, and then on Sunday, and then of course, and my cat started vomiting.
Sorry, yes, everybody. The cat.
But then and then on Sunday we realized that she actually needed to go to hospital quite urgently. And she turned out that she needed surgery, so she's now, you can see her, she's in the background on my bed. She's in recovery, she's fine, but for me that was the thing that sent me over the edge. I was like, she went into hospital on Sunday night, and then on Monday I spent the entire day in bed. No, Tuesday I spent the entire day in bed. I was like, I can't handle this anymore, I just need to go to bed. And I think, and now I feel okay, and now I feel, like I can, my resilience cup hath filled up, and I can kind of move. It can go forward now.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about resilience. How have you filled your resilience cup, or emptied it or filled it?
For me, resilience is about being well rested and taking care of myself. And I mean, when I mean take care of myself, I mean sleep, drink all the water, eat all the salads, feel good inside, feel good outside, and feel productive. That's for me what resilience is about. So it's going out for the run, it's going out for the walk, it's doing the list that you said that you would do. That for me is resilience. I know that's not resilience for everybody, but that's how
that's what it looks like for you.
For me, yeah. So when I feel like my resilience cup is empty, it's when I feel like I can't do those things. I haven't got the energy to do those things. I don't even have the brain functionality to be able to think about, you know, going for a run or you know, conquering that to-do list that I've got, and that's usually a sign that I need to rest, drink more water, eat more salad. But I mean, I'm kind of self-aware enough now to be able to realize those signs, and to know that that's what it means. Whereas, you know, for a long time I didn't understand that. I mean, I spent my sort of 20s pretty much in complete burnout. I would say, actually, looking back on that now, mid-20s to mid-30s to the early 30s.
Because you're in your mid-30s.
Yeah, I'm in my mid-30s. Mid-20s to early 30s. I probably was in complete burnout the entire time, now that I look back on it. So it's taken a long time for me to realize that. And it's also taken meeting people like you and meeting other people in the community who are much more practiced at being self-aware and recognizing.
That's only because we're in our mid-40s.
I know. But, you know, it's the kind of, it's that sort of, it's that kind of being self-aware that has helped me recognize when I'm getting to that stage of being burnout.
So, you know, and awesome, well done you. All power
Thanks.
to you. You know, and when we talk about being burnt out, that kind of stuff, and I sort of think about, I'm recognizing signs within myself. For example, this week I'm saying the wrong words, like I'm losing words and I'm saying the wrong words. And that for me is a really big sign that I'm actually headed towards a not okay moment, if that makes sense. You know, I'm probably headed towards some kind of meltdown, and you know, probably mid next week it'll happen. And you know, the whole warning. But you know, it's little things like that. It's I had a night of insomnia the other night. I'm losing words, and you know, as much as I like to joke and make fun of things and try and choose the happy side, I get to sit down and go, okay, these are warning signs for me that I am headed for a meltdown. What are your warning signs, if you're okay with sharing that?
Warning signs for me is that I lose patience with things. My ability to rationalize things becomes very incapacitated. I lose perspective on the bigger picture, the long term, and I kind of get sort of almost obsessive about some things. You know, if there's something for me to worry about, I'll worry about it. That's my thing. So for example, right now I'm looking at my cat on the bed.
She's fine.
Like,
she's just
dead. But you know, in my head, I'm like, oh, she's asleep. She's totally fine. She's asleep. She's resting. That's what she should be doing post-operation, whatever. But I'm like, she's dead. You know. So yesterday, for example, she wasn't eating properly. It turned out she just didn't like the food that we gave her. But anyway, she's eating fine now. But there was a moment when I was kind of like, oh my God, my cat's dying. What the hell? So I'm a big worrier anyway. I have a lot of anxiety. It's tricky for me to manage that. So I have to be very, when that becomes very heightened, and even more so than normal, that's when I know that's a warning sign for me that I'm heading towards a bit of a break.
And what do you do to, I'm just going to say it. You know, in the last few weeks, you've been very good for me, and I like to think I've also been very good for you, being there for you, and we have developed a good relationship in reaching out and checking in. And I find myself in an amazing situation where I have people like your good self and some other people who I know will be listening, who do the same thing. They check in with me. They go, hey, how you going, on an almost daily basis, because they, from the outside, can see that, you know, like you, my
Yeah.
business runs on personal contact, and that
Mm.
I'm possibly, if I can't get this pivot in the right position, going to lose my business.
Yeah.
Although, you know, we're doing all right. Yay,
Mm.
thank you, community.
Yeah.
You know, thank you for reaching out, because it makes everybody okay. But what else do you do to help be okay with it all? Like we've already talked about, recognizing, understanding, and sitting in the feelings,
Mm-hmm.
reaching out,
Mm-hmm.
and just
Mm-hmm.
talking about it. What, you know, do you have any other things that you do to help build that resilience and be okay with the crazy that's going on right now?
Moment of honesty here, no. Because I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning how to deal with it. And if I was to sit here and tell you that I meditate 5 minutes a day, or I do yoga every morning, or I journal, or I do something like that, it'd be a complete lie. I don't do any of that. And I take my hat off to people who do. I think it's an amazing thing to do, and it's a really useful exercise. But I also have to be mindful about the capacity that I have. Now, if I start adding in getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning to journal for half an hour, I'm like, no.
But see, can I just pull that apart a little bit? Because doing all the things that you've just listed off there are things that go on your to-do list, rather than things that go on your I want to do and need to do, because I know you know, for me, it's eating Vegemite sandwiches, right? It's like, I need a fucking Vegemite sandwich right now. Oh, sorry, no swearing. Sorry. Sorry, because it's comfort food. I will choose a Vegemite sandwich over a 10-minute meditation any day.
Yeah.
Because a meditation is something that in my head I know is a to-do job, because it's a skill that I'm still developing, even though I've been doing it for a really long time. I'm still developing. But journaling is not on my to-do list. Journaling is an outlet for me. I don't do it every day. I do it when I need to let something out, and it's something that I feel is better off just being written down in a book that I know nobody's ever going to read, rather than actually physically saying it to somebody. You know, like Crazy Dreams. You know, so that's not something that goes on my to-do list. Yoga, to-do list. Most people who know me know how I feel about yoga. No offense to if you're a yoga person out there. You do you, all right? You do you. Yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that statement. I think I was just talking about myself.
I get what you. I understand what you mean. There's the stuff which you know you should do because you know it's meant to be good for you, but then there's the stuff that you do which is just like breathing. So for me, I mean, this is actually, I have to change the previous statement. I went through a really tough time this time last year, which you were first-hand witness to.
I was.
And you saw me sitting on the floor rocking back and forth. Not gonna lie, that actually happened.
I was there. I saw it happen.
It was it was pretty bad. So bad that I actually had physical reactions to it. I relearned how to breathe.
Yeah, okay.
And just using breathing exercises, you know, a very, 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 very low skilled kind of level meditation technique.
Can we change low to base?
Base, okay.
Sorry, that's just my positively framed head going. Low is a negative word, base is a positively framed word. Base
level meditation, just breathing exercises. And during the period that I was going through this particularly rough patch, I did meditation or breathing exercises every single day. And it did get to the point where it was actually just part of my routine. I just did it. And even if I was just sat at my desk and I had, you know, I'd go through the exercises, because I think it saved my mental health, actually. I really do. I think it saved my mental health, because I think I was so utterly stressed out and so in shock about the situation that had happened that, yeah, my body had a physical reaction to it. Like I had a physiological reaction to a state of shock and trauma. It was trauma. It was trauma for me. It was a type of trauma. I think that has helped. That is the one thing I would continue to do, definitely. But I mean, yeah, try and get me to get up at nobody is going to get me out of my bed at 6 o'clock in the morning to write in a journal. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Sorry, no, it's not happening. Yeah. And you know, yeah, I would rather have a glass of red wine over a yoga mat session any day of the week.
Yeah.
I'd rather have my cats and a yoga and a glass of red wine. Sorry.
And, you know, that's what's getting us through what we're going through at the moment. That's what's getting us through.
But by the way, which is why my stats haven't gone down for the last 2 weeks.
Speaking of which, you got to send them through.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, look, we're playing the long game. Long game.
But coronavirus time doesn't count.
No, it sure as hell doesn't. You know, because we are all in a state of shock and coping and uncertainty, and that takes its toll on everybody. And you know, we sort of need to be kinder to ourselves right now. Now is not the time to be kicking off a brand new hardcore weight loss program.
And do you know what? I feel really sorry because there's a few people who've done it, but they started before this all happened, and they're just like, I mean, they're halfway in it. I mean, I would.
Yeah, no. What's going on the shelf? I'm focusing on survival, and you know, because when we sit in fear, and most of us, to be honest, you know, let's be honest with it, we're sitting in fear right now. We go into survival mode, you know, and our lizard brain is going, right, how am I going to survive today? How am I going to survive today? How am I going to survive today? We don't have the space or the time to do these life transforming, in inverted commas, programs. You know, it's
which I think are great, because there's some out there which are genuinely really helpful and that do look at the long game and go, right, okay, this is the long-term life changes that you have to make. But making those life changes in the middle of a pandemic, whew,
you know, I mean, this is like, I know, I was with Kirsty. Kirsty and I were about to launch one of these programs.
Yeah.
Where we were this week we were due to start advertising, and we were coming up for a big launch, and we've just had to put a pin in it and go, no, now is not the time to be doing this transformation program. You know, that'll come out after everybody's, probably next year, when everybody's back on their feet and looking to do the transformation program.
Yeah. Dust the cobwebs off, get back on it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, people who are doing it and who have got the will and strength to be able to do something like this during it is I mean, I'm in awe. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it also gives people, I mean, I know that some people feel that they need the structure, they need something like this to kind of, you know, ground them and make them feel more safe and so on. So I think it's really about, you just need to do what you need to do. You know, there is no judgment on anything. You know, obviously don't take drugs.
No, let's not do that.
Don't take drugs. Don't become an alcoholic. Don't smoke. Don't
abuse your partners. Don't abuse your children.
Exactly. Don't take out your fear and frustration on other people. Deal with it in a healthy way. But you know, eat the damn sandwich.
Yeah.
Buy the damn coffee.
But go for the walk as well.
Walk to the shop to get the sandwich. You know,
yes. Put a scarf around your head so you're not coughing on people.
So I think I think there's a lot to be said for as you say, survival. You just have what you need to do to survive. You know, some amazing, I truly believe that some amazing things are going to come out of this experience that we've all had. I mean, even now people are being more innovative, people are being more accepting, people are being less judgmental, people are being, you know, they're actually kind of supporting one another, whereas before there was divides and competition and so on. So I think it's really good things are going to come out of this, but in a tragic
Absolutely.
circumstance, you know.
I totally agree with you. It's you know, it is one of those opportunities for humans to step up and be proper humans.
Absolutely.
And they're doing it, you know, for the better part.
Yeah.
We're doing it,
yeah.
you know, so we'll get through it. We'll get through this. But so how's Little Bear Abroad going? If you want to...
We're taking it one day at a time.
Yep. You're doing a lot more online stuff?
We're doing a lot more online stuff. We're doing a lot more online classes. We haven't decided if we're going to start next week or not. Don't know. We have another couple of kids related sessions, online sessions starting.
I've been joining in on your reading stuff with my kids.
Thanks.
And they love it. It's cool.
We're, you know, but this is the thing. It's still all a big learning curve for us. We're like, you know, can people hear us? Is the book positioned correctly? Are we doing enough sound effect? All that kind of stuff. So it's all a big kind of, you know, learning curve. But one of the things that's been really successful for us has been the Zumba, which we've done with our women, our pregnant ladies, and not with, you know, without a lot of kind of back offline kind of herding. It's like sure everybody's, you know, but Patty has been a bit of she's been very enthusiastic about starting doing some kids stuff. So stuff for children who are at home.
Is she going to do Zumba for kids?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I thought a mini Zumba for kids. Yeah. So it's going to be dance incorporated with games. So she's going to have a sort of dance warm up, and then there's going to be some game stuff. And it's all going to be done with stuff that you can find in your own home, so you don't need to buy any new stuff or have anything fancy. Cool. The only thing that we're still kind of working the nuts and bolts out with is what platform we use. So we want it to be on like a live platform. We don't want it to be on a closed private platform. So it's either going to be like Facebook Live or Instagram Live or some other kind of YouTube thing. I don't know. We just need to figure out what. So that hopefully is going to start next week.
Yay! That's exciting.
And you, I mean, how have you guys been doing? What's happening?
So I'm mostly online. Technically, I'm still open. And you know, we've got one or two people coming into sessions. The system, you know, hasn't changed, so you still need to book in. So if I get more than 4 people, I'm like, you know, sorry, class is full. And there isn't a huge amount of interaction with what we do anyway, and you know, I'm just making sure we're wiping down everything with alcohol after it gets touched, and blah blah blah. But on the other side of it is most of my sessions are now completely online as well. So you can come into the studio, or we can just jump online and you can join in that way.
The one question I had, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
You know, because I was thinking about, obviously today we were meant to have a training session outside, and then we looked outside and it was 4 inches of snow.
And it's COVID-19 and I really don't feel like it. Normally I'd be like, yeah, you're doing it. You're just doing it.
Oh my God, I'm so relieved that you said no. I'm so glad. I was thinking, well, maybe I should do one at home. But then I was like, I have no equipment.
You don't need it. And this is the thing, okay? So, and this is what is happening. And it's really fun and exciting to see people being innovative with what they can pick up in their house that's heavy. So it's like, okay, we're going to do a front carry squat. Go pick up something heavy. Right. And, you know, I've had people come back with power drills and fire extinguishers and children, of course. And, you know, some people have equipment, so they use it. But if you don't have equipment, you know, like, okay, so a 1 liter bottle of water is 1 kilo, right? Other liquids weigh differently, but generally 1 liter of water is 1 kilo. So if you've got a 1.5 liter bottle, two 1.5 liter bottles is 3 kilos right there.
Yeah.
And the joy of the functional training that we do is you don't have to be lifting heavy to still get the workout, because we're focusing on getting all of the muscles working together at the same time. Yeah. So even if you don't have anything, you can still just do the motion to get the activity in your body. Yeah. So that the connection happens, so that your muscles are working. All of that kind of stuff. So we don't need to be lifting weights. You don't need to have, 5 kettlebells and a dumbbell and a barbell and all that. And the other thing is, you find most people at least have a rubber band at home. Most people have something, but even if you don't, fire extinguisher. I had one client doing kettlebell swings with a fire extinguisher, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not. I'm a bit worried about that one. Okay, I just in my head I could see it snapping off and it just going everywhere. I'm like, no. I was like, I take no responsibility for you right now.
I think you sign a waiver before you take part in that stuff. Oh dear.
Anyway. So, but it's working, and it's it has taken a couple of weeks for people to really, they've I think this is what's happening, is that they've done I'm going to sit at home for a couple of weeks and be depressed, and then they're like, okay, well, this is still going. We're still in this life. I have to start to be active. I have to do things, and so they're coming on board. And one of the partners that I work with, which is Bruce, if you've got a Bruce app, awesome. They've been really, I got to give them a shout out, because they've been really good at adapting really quickly to making sure that their members can still come in online. So for me, with my business, I had 5 people in a session yesterday online, which, it makes me feel good to know that my numbers are down, but they're not dead.
Yeah.
And actually there's something we're going to talk about when we're offline. But I've had an opportunity from a guy in Australia who wants me to run a program with him, which is awesome. Like, so there's opportunities coming up. There's new ways of doing things.
Yeah.
And, we're making it happen.
I think that's the key point. It's about being open to the idea of changing the way you do things.
Yeah.
That's how you survive stuff like this. It's being flexible. It's being open to opportunity. It's being, on, like, trying to stay ahead of the game in terms of, I know that there's people in our community who've put their entire businesses online now, and are still managing. Or it's I think it's an incredible feat of flexibility is the first word that comes into mind. I'm like you. I'm beginning to lose my words. I think I need some more coffee.
Yeah, we might need to wrap it up soon anyway. I think Tiny Human's going to wake up in a minute. So,
okay. Do you have any other questions that you wanted to ask me?
No, I'm quite happy. Really, I think it's pretty good. I think we had a good conversation. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, people out there listening and watching? If there's other things you want me, if there's something else you want me and Jill to talk about, Absolutely. Or to come up with, or to, if you want to come on and have a chat with us, we can have chats with other people while we're doing this as well.
Definitely.
Because, let's find ways of doing things together.
Yeah. I like I've begun to use the term physical distancing instead of social distancing, because I think the social distancing.
Yes. Yeah, it's a really, you know what, I love it, because let's be really careful with our words, right? Let's be careful with our words, because it is physical distancing and we need to keep together socially. Absolutely. I love it. High five for you, Jill.
High five. Okay.
So Jill, if people want to come on and play with you with whatever it is that you're doing at the moment, how do they get in contact with you?
So they can get in contact with us through any of our social media platforms. Instagram, Little Bear Abroad _ or on Facebook at Little Bear Abroad. Or they can email us directly at ask, as in ask a question, ask at littlebearabroad.com. That's how to find us. That's where you can find us. And you can follow us on Instagram as well to find out what exactly is we're up to behind the scenes and so on. So that's where we usually tell people what to expect and what's coming up next.
Awesome. And do you have a YouTube page as well?
We don't have a YouTube channel, actually.
You will soon.
But maybe we should think about that. But we do. Oh, actually, no. One thing we do have, and oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot. We have a podcast.
Yay!
So, and it's just we've started recording new episodes of it now. So we've got another 2 episodes coming out in the next week.
Awesome.
And it's called the Swede ish podcast. And it's predominantly recorded by me, but also with guests. So we have some really interesting guests mostly from the international community in Stockholm, but all over Sweden as well. And we just basically, it's a conversation about the paradox of being stuck between two cultures whilst living abroad.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
if anybody wants to get in contact with us or with me, it's pod@goodtogo.se, or send me a message here somewhere. Comment, like, subscribe, and comment, because this video is going up on the YouTube page, but the recording is going up on the podcast. What else was I going to say there? Yeah, let's do it again, Jill. It's fun.
Sure. Sounds good.
Cool.
Awesome.
Right.